Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be taking a crew neck and turning it into a V-neck. Let's get into it. The tutorial that I am following to do these steps is from Professor Pincushion. I'll have her video linked down below. Very simple, very straightforward. I think that her method works really well. This was my first attempt. The biggest thing is that you just can't go lower than 2 inches. That's as deep of a cut as you can make. Something I did struggle with was getting this, what am I trying to say? You use the original neckline, and that's what I was really excited about. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like crew neck cuts. I'd rather have a V-neck, and I really struggled with this one because there was like an extra line of stitches. There was like a top row of stitches on this shirt, which I didn't realize. So with this next attempt, I'm hoping that it is a little simpler. I am gonna do some speeding up when I'm doing these different steps because it does take a while. It took me about an hour to do this first one, so I don't want this video to be an hour long. The first step is that we have to remove the neckline but not go all the way up. So here is where the shoulder seams are. So we have to go a 1/2 inch lower. Now something else I struggled with was finding the middle once I had already cut it because I didn't want to stretch it out. So I'm actually going to find the center now and put a pin. So let me do that. I have 3 pins right now. I have the center and then on each side a 1/2 inch mark down. The other thing I'm going to do is I am going to take out this tag. I do not like this tag. I'm wondering how I can do it. I want to take it out, but I don't. Oh, okay. Can I just, I don't want it to, what's the word? You know how sometimes it's still kind of there, but I don't want to damage the integrity of the shirt. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do a speed up time lapse and I'm going to take the neckline out. I'm just going to go really slowly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull. Sorry, it keeps making that sound. I'm going to pull and see how you can see the stitches right there. So I'm going to pull, stick my seam ripper in there, and just remove the neckline. And that's what I'm gonna do all the way to each of these pins, right? Okay, so that was a lot easier than the other one that I did. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean up all of this thread. So I'm just gonna pull on this thread here. It's pretty much all one piece. Let's get rid of this. Okay, the next step is find the midpoint. We already did that. And we are going to make our mark. Okay, so I'm matching up the shoulders right now. Here's my shoulders. Here's my front. And so now I'm going to mark 2 inches down here and then mark where my cut line is going to be. So let me do that right here. Okay. So 2 inches down. And she says in her video that if you do more than 2 inches, then you'll have to buy a new neckline, buy new ribbing to put a new neckline in. And I don't want to do that. I want to make this as simple of a project as possible. So now I'm just going to make it so that the V-neck is gradual. And I'm just using some tailor's chalk. Okay, so now I have my V-neck marked. I'm going to take some fabric scissors and I am just going to chop it out. Okay, so it's really not that much fabric, and it's crazy how much of a difference like this little piece of fabric makes that you don't feel like you're choking. All right. So that's what it's looking like. Okay, the next step is to cut the neckband in half. So again, we are going to find the midpoint, use our fabric scissors, cut it, and then you have to stretch it out so that it can reach. So just stretch, 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 stretch. Okay, so for pinning, I found it easiest to start at the bottom, like pin where the bottom needs to be, because that's how far down we know it needs to go. Because you're pinning the, let me try that again. Okay, so if here's the shirt, you're taking this collar that goes here and you're flipping it right sides together. And so I just pinned the bottom down right here, and then I'm going to pin all the way up. But I just want to pin the bottom because that's how far it has to go. And I want to make sure that I go far enough. This is what I struggled with on the other one because the collar was so small. Like this one's better because it's like, there's more material. It's like this one, the neckline is very thin, right? It's very small. This one, it's much thicker, so it's easier to work with. Those are things that I didn't notice when I was picking out these shirts. Like I have a whole stack of them. And I'm like, oh, I want to do this to all of these shirts. Okay, I don't think I stretched the collar enough. Hold on. Stretch it some more. All right, I'm going to speed up once I have this done. All right, now I have this side pinned, and I am just going to do some stretching at the sewing machine. And I also marked the bottom 1 inch, so we are only going to sew this section right here, not this part next to the V. So I'm going to back tack and I'm going to sew this section right here. She also suggested doing a zigzag stitch. The first time I just did a straight stitch, so I'm going to try a zigzag this time. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this because I did white stitches on blue, but I did a straight stitch with a back tack and then some zigzags. And this last 1 inch that I did not stitch down, we're going to unpin that. So we're not stitched all the way down to the V. Right now we are just stitched most of the way down. There is still 1 inch that's not done. So then you take this part and you go over to the other side and you stitch it down. So you pull it to the other side of the V. And you throw some stitches down over there, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side, and that helps it be like a tight V at the bottom. Now that the other corner is stitched down, we'll go back to the original side. It's kind of like doing your bias corners, right? Or is it bias corners? When you're doing like mitered corners, I think that's what I was trying to say. So now we're going to go back to the original side, and it's just going to line up perfectly. And we are going to straight stitch and then zigzag, just like we did before. Okay, so now we have one side tacked down. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Set the machine aside. I'm going to take the other side, give it a little stretchy stretch, and then same thing. I'm going to start at the bottom with a pin down, and I'm going to pin the rest of it down. Oh, I missed a little spot on the other side. I need to do a couple extra stitches. I can see that there's a little hole, so I need to go back and fix that. So now we have the other side pinned down. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch it in the same manner. Now that the side is tacked down, we're gonna do the same thing with the bottom piece to create the V-neck. So you take it to the other side and then you stitch it down. And then we go ahead and stitch down that last piece. Now to stitch down that final little stretch. I think this is such an exciting skill to learn. I mean, sewing is such a useful skill in and of itself, but being able to turn crew necks into V-necks, I'm so excited to do this to the rest of my wardrobe. Like, I really don't like buying shirts if they aren't V-neck or they aren't embroidered, because I want them to last a long time and I want to be comfortable. So now this unlocks a lot of doors for me, and I hope it unlocks a lot of doors for you. All right, are you ready to see what it looks like? Here is what it looks like. Okay, it's not perfect, but the final step that she suggests is throwing some steam down so you can see that it's puckering up some. So I went ahead and turned on my iron, and she says to go ahead and grab your iron, grab some steam. Where is my ironing mat? Right here. Grab your ironing mat and then give it some steam. I'm going to try and lay it as flat as possible right now. This neckline, like I said, was definitely a lot easier to work with than that other one that I did. So I would highly recommend for your first attempt, find one that's not top stitched down and has a thicker neckline. Okay, so now I'm just going to give it some heat here. All right, what do you think? Let me go ahead and put it on and let's see what it looks like on. Here is what it looks like on. It's not an insanely drastic change. Like, I'll put a picture of what it looked like before, but it does make a difference. It's not so uptight. If you wanted it to be a lower V-neck, you would just need to go buy new ribbing and add that in. However, I wanted to keep the integrity of the original t-shirt and not have to add any new supplies. So that being said, you can only cut down 2 inches. I do have a little pucker right there, but you know, that's not the end of the world. And I feel like when you're just out and about wearing the shirt, nobody's gonna notice. So I'm sure I'll get better with every attempt. This is only attempt number 2 for me. Like I said, that other shirt that I showed you, this was attempt number 1. And I had way more puckering on the first one, right? So this was my first attempt. So I think a couple more attempts and I'll have it down pat. She also says that this little section right here, so you can see that this part of the V is not down. If you want to put a couple little tacks right there, you can. But all of this right here has straight stitches and a zigzag, so there's not even any raw edges. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're going to be changing some crew necks into V-necks. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a beautiful summer, and I will see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.